And I'll tell you guys since we're all friends. Every character I write has a piece of me in them. Hi, I'm Lee Bardugo. You're listening to the GrishaCast.
Welcome to GrishaCast, episode 94. In this episode, we will be discussing chapters 29 through 31 from the book Rule of Wolves. This is your host, Eric.
And I'm Terry. From Nashville, Tennessee, this is your podcast for all things Grishaverse.
A world created so we could all have a safe place to call our home. Thank you, Lee Bardugo. Moi ça va, Caster?
Hello.
Well, we're back.
We're back.
I know, it feels so good. I mean, we've been here.
Yes,
but
we're back to the book.
we are. So, first off, before we get started, we gotta say hello to some listener cities.
We do. First, we have Joao Molevad, Brazil.
Girl,
Ooh.
go. And, I forgot how to,
Ephrata.
thank you, Ephrata, Pennsylvania. Because, I was about to say Ephrata. Ephrata,
Ephrata.
which is really cool. I really would love to see what Ephrata looks like. I've never even heard of that.
No, I haven't either.
I bet it's a beautiful little place.
I bet it is.
So thank you, listeners out there.
Thank you so much.
We're going to come visit. Just get ready. So just pull out your
We're
couch.
going on tour.
We are
No, we're not.
GrishaCast on tour.
I mean, that'd be great, but
Yeah, that would be some shenanigans.
it would 100% be shenanigans.
Well, because first off, the trips we have taken together have always been phenomenal and
Yes.
so much fun. Could you imagine if we went on
World tour.
world tour with Ism,
Oh my goodness.
our own oh my god, our own on the road. What if I haven't seen the whole United States. Have you?
No. Mm-mm.
Maybe that should be on our bucket list to take.
That's actually mine and my partner's
Damn.
thing to get a picture in every state.
Mhm. Okay,
So
so
that has something to do with his Christmas gift this year.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so that's your thing. So then our thing can be we are going to try.
Listener cities.
Yes, let's try to visit every single listener city we have ever had on the show.
Yes.
And yes. So we are coming out to find you all. So get ready because here we come. We're gonna find ya.
Is that a threat?
It is, and I'm sure it sounds a little scary to them.
They're
like, oh, I just listened to the podcast. I didn't mean for you all
don't
to
come for me.
Yeah. Oh, we gonna come for you. Yes, we is.
We coming.
Mhm. But it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't want? Come on. We have so much fun together.
We do.
We have had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, anyways, how have you been? So it's been a minute since we've been doing a regular podcast. And what we mean by that is just we had the fabulous Melinda Lowe last week.
That was so fun.
Oh, she was phenomenal.
Yes.
So cool to talk to. And I learned so much. And I hope you listeners out there really do go and check out Ash because her books are phenomenal. And she was just really cool. I had a really great time with her.
Yes, I really did.
We're just rocking it with these special guests. They're just all so nice. And we're good people.
Yes, that's the important part.
Yeah, luckily they like us, I think is what it is.
Yes, they were easy to talk to.
Yes. You are definitely very good at you're better at that than I am. Because
No, you're a good conversationalist.
I know, but you know me. Sometimes I get a little for instance,
You get excited.
yeah, you had to help me through Aiden Thomas. I love Aiden Thomas, but I was Oh my goodness gracious.
We were also new at this thing too, so as time goes on, it'll be okay too.
Well, yeah, of course. I just I love that you're my rock. like you are. You're the one that like holds it together.
I'm
Because
just a very calm person naturally.
exactly, and I'm the one that drives our producer crazy because I scream and make my voice level like insane for him to try to follow or even like put together. So that's me. That's why we're so perfect.
Well, yeah. I
So,
mean, if we were the same person, it'd be boring.
duh. Yeah.
I do have a fun story though. We
Ooh,
have
tell.
so the whole tea situation is a thing for the
Are you
podcast.
talking about my tea? The tea we drinking?
Yes, tea
Ooh.
time, you
Mhm.
know. And at work they've been really pushing like mental health lately. And so we get this email saying, meet everyone at 3:00 these 3 days for tea time. And they actually put tea bags in each of the break rooms. So I got to sample some interesting new tea. And then as we were talking the first day, which Tuesday, they were talking about books and talking about other things that we did outside the school because we're not allowed to talk about work. And so the GrishaCast got brought up. So
What?
once again, tea and the GrishaCast came together. So,
Okay.
and at least a couple people said they were super interested because they loved fantasy and they like choose fantasy to read and they needed another series after the series that shall not be named.
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I was like, come on in. We welcome you.
Yes.
Bring your tea.
Do
Yes.
bring your tea and your clutch and all, and like just have fun and be prepared for learning how to do a podcast,
A podcast.
bobcast from the very beginning, but slowly evolving into what we now have, what I believe is just phenomenal, like works of art.
So I assume you're starting at the beginning, but
Yes.
if Jessica or Katrina ever get to this point, hi. We just had tea together.
Oh, well, hi.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I thought it was really cool how tea brought in the GrishaCast again. So
Ooh,
yeah, they just go
yes.
hand in hand.
They do, and I think that's phenomenal. Because I love tea, and I love that we have tea as like an intricate part of our GrishaCast.
Oh, yeah.
Even though
I
people probably
literally drink tea all day long.
well, and this one is phenomenal. Like we talked about it last time, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, like this one. Seriously, I know I'm gonna bring it up again. This cucumber white tea, ooh,
Yeah,
it is It's by Tazo.
it's
That's
on the lighter side. It's not like a chai or anything that's like heavy. It's very
Yeah,
light, but it's very good.
I've never had a white tea, so
Mm-mm.
I'm assuming that's kind of like has to deal with the color. But also, it's like it's got caffeine in it, but not so much that it's like too crazy.
Yeah.
And my husband has this like little tea kettle, and like, but because he's a huge coffee drinker, and like he's obsessed with it. So like he like boils his water to a certain degree, and I don't know, crushes the beans, and who knows, like says a spell over it for it to taste right.
You're such a professional at talking about coffee.
So what I realized though is like looking on the back of this tea box, there are like directions that was like get it to 175 degrees specifically for like 8 ounces. Let the tea bag soak in there for 3 minutes, take it out, and like it just had these specific directions. And then this whole other box of tea had completely different ones. I was amazed.
Yeah.
I thought
And,
that
yeah, you're only supposed to like steep it for so long and all this stuff, but I'd never
I never take it.
never
Yeah.
ever follow those directions. I always just leave the tea bag in there, and I'm sure like actual tea drinkers
Yeah.
would be very angry about that. But I do what I want.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah, that's your mantra. However, I do have a question for you about tea.
Okay.
Because I've asked somebody else this. And what's funny is this question comes from a thought that I had while watching Outlander.
Hmm.
So, and this might come as a surprise that I don't know this, but like, okay, so back in the day
Mhm.
when they had tea, like specifically, like I guess, like over like Britain and stuff. Like, I mean, they had their teapots and stuff. I know, like I noticed there was a scene where they made fun of our tea bags,
Yes.
and I thought I was like, okay, I get it. But I also knew that the only other way that I knew how to brew tea was those like little metal things that you
Mhm.
put loose leaf tea in. They haven't always had those around, right?
I
So
mean, in a way,
okay,
they didn't always look like they do now, but you had to be able to strain it out.
okay, because someone was trying to tell me that it had to do with the like teapot and that like you would that back in the day they would throw all the tea in there, but like the little like this part wouldn't be able to like it was so small that it wouldn't let any of those things come out.
That's
Is that true?
yeah, some of them they either had something in the lip or up at the top, kind of like yours does,
That
where
catches
there's
it.
a catcher there. But then, yeah, there were several different ways, but yes. But
Okay.
that's how. But like, it did still allow some of the leaves to come through because they would read
Tea
tea
leaves.
leaves. Yeah,
Exactly. Well, that's what I was wondering because I was just like I didn't
it
know.
wasn't perfect. You would always have some tea leaves kind
Well,
of left
yeah.
behind.
Well, and you know I love that because tea leaves actually is why I read Lenormand today. That's what it's based off of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so um cool little fact. Um yeah, so anyways, um yeah, I'm so happy we're back and just reading the book. It's so
We're
exciting.
65% of the way through.
I know,
Oh,
which is crazy.
it
And
is.
also we're at like episode 94.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's crazy. Whoa. So
Also, make sure you check out our YouTube. We have a new little setup, and it's always fun to see us anyway, so that you can see our crazy faces.
yes.
Make sure you subscribe. We'd love to go live on here and check us out on Facebook too, because we'd love to go live there. We'd like to have more interaction. So help us out with that.
Yeah, we just want to have more live interaction. We love the questions that you guys send us, and those are awesome. We just would love to be able to, because Chris said that there's actually a way that we can do like phone calls, like take calls, like in here.
Yeah,
That'd be so cool one time to do. Like,
that would
anyways,
be.
but anyways, like I wanted to ask you about Thanksgiving, but we should probably get started. But real quickly, what do you have any big plans? Like, because
We are going to the mountains just for the night. Because my partner actually has to come back to do his own show Friday night. He is, I don't know if I've ever said it, but he's an on-air personality, and his show runs 5 days a week, every night prime time. So he has to be back Friday at night for his own show. So we've just got the one night, but we're gonna go see a Dolly show. The Dollywood Stampede, which for people that don't know is like it's a show with like horses and country music, and it's just a big crazy southern show with horses, and they feed you chicken.
interesting.
So that's what we're going
Okay.
to actually be doing at like 3 p.m. And then we are going to go look at all the lights because we
Well,
are lights people. We love to look at the lights, and they have the best
yes.
lights. They have like the Lebanon drive-through one. They have one there, but it's like bigger.
Oh, I can just imagine.
It's crazy. They have a lit up frog that like bounces through the whole. Oh my gosh, it's so cool. And I become like a 5-year-old girl.
And see, that is one thing that like I love about us is like neither of us celebrate Christmas really,
No.
but we love Christmas
The
lights
lights.
so much.
Well, the lights kind of have to do with your religion, and lights have to do with mine too.
Yeah.
So the lights don't have to be Christmas; they're just winter lights.
My all-time favorite, like blue Christmas lights
Yes.
are my absolute like. I mean, those are my
They're the
favorite.
best.
Yeah, and like I remember when I finally got some for like my bedroom when I was in high school, and like it was just, it's such a relaxing color. I love those, and like I've never like. I know I probably shouldn't say this, but like I've kind of always wanted to have like experience a Christmas tree.
You can do it.
I know.
Just don't. It doesn't have to be a Christmas tree.
Yeah,
it can just be like an old world tree because it didn't come from just Christmas.
Well, yeah, a Hanukkah
Just
bush or
do it.
a
Make
celebration.
Hanukkah ornaments for it.
Oh my gosh, and I so could.
You could.
I just want
say
the lights.
do it.
I just want to see
Do it.
the lights. And
I want you to do it now.
okay, well, I guess I'm gonna have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chris, go
We're getting a tree.
go cut me down a tree, because if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it right. Actually, no, we're not, because I don't want a real tree in my house. I've heard that like bugs can creep in, and
no, that's not.
well,
Wow.
I don't want. Yeah, have you ever had a real
Yes.
pine tree?
Uh-huh.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
It's fine.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Millions of people do it every year.
I'm sure they do. And you know what? It would probably be beautiful to look at, and I would love it. But I mean, as long as goodness, I mean, I'm good at setting up, probably the ones that come in pieces. No, we'll have to do a real one. I mean, I have to experience. We do the menorah, which is always really pretty.
Mhm. Yeah.
Which I am still waiting for the 8th night of Hanukkah to land on my birthday, which it hasn't. But
One day.
yeah,
1 year it will.
I know, and I always kind of want to look and see if it ever will, but I don't. But it's early this year. It's it's at the end of November, the first night.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really early this year.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, but I am excited because we get to do our special thing together for our holidays together.
Yay!
Our Chinese Christmas.
Chinese Christmas.
Yay! But we're not there yet. But for Thanksgiving, we are actually staying here, which we normally go to friends' families' houses, and we drive around everywhere. But this year, we actually are staying home, and we're inviting just our immediate family to us. And I'm so excited because I can't wait to watch the parade, and I also can't wait for Caden to experience it.
Yeah.
And it's just going to be really nice because it really is just going to be it's our family. And the best part, I'm not cooking anything. We already have someone that's making all the food.
That's always the best part.
And they're making leftovers, and we're having chess pie and fudge brownies for dessert, just saying. Okay, so we probably talked way too long.
Odd thing about the parade, one of my instructors is one of the balloon handlers for the Sonic balloon.
Oh.
Isn't that random and weird? Sorry.
So every year?
No, just this year. Her and her family are the balloon handlers for the Sonic balloon in the Macy's parade.
Okay, so are we talking Sonic like the restaurant?
Sonic the
Hedgehog. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See.
So.
Oh,
weird.
Caden would love that.
I know the boys love Sonic, so I'm gonna have to turn it on and have to look for. But it's so random.
I love watching the parade just for the musical numbers. I love it.
I like the marching bands.
Oh yeah, I watch the musical numbers. I love those. Oh my gosh,
I like the whole thing.
it is fabulous. It is just it's a fun time, and I've always said it's very great to watch on TV. I would never be there in person.
No,
but. Anyways, moving forward from floats and all these wonderful festivities, let's get on into the Grishaverse because we haven't been here in so long. I mean, we have, but we haven't been in Rule of Wolves.
Yes.
In a minute. So, okay, so yeah, we got 29,
and
that's the fun part because we both got to kind of pull this up and see what's going on. So
29 is Mayu.
So. We have to remember where we left off with Mayu, where it was her that was having her hand crushed, right?
Yeah, by her brother, Rayam.
Yep.
She was screaming at Rayam to stop. And then, so now we're back there.
Yes. So we're right at the hand crush. And yeah, we just have to remember that, whatever her horrible name is, the mean Maki is there just being mean and everything.
Yeah, starting the chapter, Ram still has her hand.
Yeah. So, and I guess she's just she believes that she can somehow get his attention, right? Like,
I mean, I imagine so.
yeah.
But like Tamar's had enough of watching
Mhm.
Ram do this. So she actually throws axes to Ram. And obviously doesn't do much to him because of him being this crazy like robot thing now.
Yeah.
And then he attacks Tamar.
He's got some kind of weird part that kind of freaked me out. Like,
Isn't it like the pinchers?
that's what it is. Yes.
He's got the pinchers.
When they said that, I was like, that is so weird.
Yeah, it is totally weird.
Oh my gosh. It's,
But it brings this other character Bergen out. And he tells them that the floor is a sluiceway.
I'm sorry. It's a what? What did you say?
Sluiceway. So it's a drains. There's drains.
Oh.
So like when there's blood, they can rinse it away.
Okay. So like it. So apparently that's probably been probably a place where a lot of people have died or they've killed a lot of things, right?
I would assume so. But
Okay.
Mayu she kind of takes control at this point, and she's like, let's get this going. She shoves Eri into the drain, wanting her to like run. Maki wants everybody to stop. She doesn't want everybody to get away. She wants everybody to stay to get murdered by these things. So they actually Maki actually doses everyone with Parem at this point.
What a lovely sister. I mean, she's so nice.
Yes.
And anyways, I find this just like kind of crazy. Because she's caught now. Like, so we know that now, like, I mean, this is definitely like this horrible thing. And like, she's trying to like, doesn't she try to explain that like it was about like protecting their country at some point?
Well, yeah.
But but at the same time, like, of course, then we've got our Grisha who are like, yeah, but at the cost of like using us and like killing all these people. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I just find it very fascinating because we've learned about all the other countries, and Shuhan's always just been like this like quiet, like we haven't known much, and then like now we're like learning more and more, and like really like they are very, very, like, I just find this insane that they came up with this whole system, to be honest, of like figuring out how to change, like, I mean, change a Grisha or like into these crazy soldiers and give
Well, they're not Grisha.
right, not Grisha.
They're soldiers.
But they turn people into these like they make these weird robots that go and like can smell Grisha.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, here's your little where it's oh, I just lost. Where it says that he his pincers pinned her arms as she fought to keep from inhaling the poison. So he's like got her with his pincers in like this grip.
I bet that's a nice hug.
It's probably really like hard. But obviously everyone gets dosed with this stuff. It's like a orange mist.
Yeah, and we've heard that before because but luckily someone comes along with the antidote, right? It's Tamar, right?
Yeah, Tamar has the anecdote. But like she's calling for other people, I guess. But Ram's nickname was Locust.
Locust.
Yeah, so that's where like
Locust.
I'm guessing the like pincer things.
But see, I thought a pincer was okay.
Right? Like I don't equate locusts
with pincers
with pinchers.
I think
A locust is like a grasshopper.
Yeah.
So I don't know where the pinchers come from.
It actually just made remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, like the original one.
Wow.
Like remember that ant?
Yes.
Like that really cute ant with the little pinchers.
The little pinchers. Yeah.
Aww.
Little pinchers.
That poor and that was a sad I always got sad at that part. That poor little ant, like Okay, so apparently I did not type in pinchers. I typed in,
You need pincers, not pinchers.
yeah, I've got
You put an
dogs.
H in there.
Yeah.
Um,
And who is that?
I,
Sorry,
I don't know.
Discogs. Okay. Okay. Yes. Um, so these pinchers,
Yes.
they're holding on to them. But anyways, antidote. That's good. Yeah.
Yes. So Tamar has the anecdote, but she says whatever the param was that they were using is like super strong. Tamar apparently didn't get a full dose.
Wow.
And Rayam is apparently, I mean, obviously, like weakened by it. But Tamar tells Maki to like call everyone off.
Yes. And we do all of it. Like, I mean, just to skip ahead a little bit, everything stops because we have a fabulous new entrance of a new character come in. And that is, she's been mentioned, but Lady Kurtaban, daughter of heaven and Taban queen. She is the only one, right, that can remove Maki from having the throne.
Yeah.
Because she is her grandmother, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So she comes on up in there and she just kind of like tears Maki a new one. In other words, I mean, just says, sorry, I ain't vouching for this. And you can just slide off that throne now.
Yes.
That's what I say.
The very end of this chapter basically is, I understand quite well. I assert my right as Taban Queen and rescind my blessing. The crown is yours no longer.
Bye-bye. So
Maki is no longer queen.
Which is awesome because it's official. Like, that's good. I'm glad because she was kind of crazy.
Yes.
Especially with how crazy she was just going. So, anyways, and I think Aerie will be a good, like, I think she's going to have a good chance. I think she's going to do good. Don't you?
Yeah, even though she doesn't really want it. But
I know, but I mean, I think she's the best line of hope for them, at least at the moment.
right.
Come on, she
and
sings.
She's got a good relationship with Ravka.
And she sings with instrument in the streets and people follow her,
like
the
Pied
Music Man.
Piper.
Yes. Or like any musical we've always watched and seen.
Yeah.
So, well, that's the end of that chapter. So that's cool, exciting. We know what's going on there.
So moving on to chapter 30, which is my girl Nina.
Okay.
They are about to go to the Gelidbell, which is the last formal ball before the proposals are issued.
So do we do we remember where we left off here? I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry. Where did we leave? We left off with Nina last time. Oh, Lord.
She and Joran had a discussion about saints.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Yep. Thanks. See?
You're welcome.
And you know what? I'm sure there are listeners out there that are very appreciative of that. I'm just going to say that, just in case. You never know. Okay. I'll sip my tea.
So at this point, my whole question was like, who is even going to propose to Hana? Because the whole point of going to this thing is to get a proposal, but we haven't seen her talk to any of the men. So it's like, who is going to propose? Like, does it have to end in a proposal? What if she doesn't get a proposal? What if you go through this whole thing and you don't get, anyway.
So it's called the Gelidbell?
Gelidbell?
So it's like their version of the Bachelorette, or their version of just trying to get people.
I guess it's just they have all these balls
and weird traditions of just trying.
And then at the end of this ball, you're supposed to get a proposal. So, but it's like, if you haven't been sliding into anyone's DMs, like how's
that gonna happen?
Do you get a proposal? So at this point, I'm like, if we're already at the end, who the heck is she gonna marry? But anyway.
Well, I mean, that can't be easy in Fear Day either, especially with everything going on. I mean. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm just saying. Agreeing. Sorry. I'm just yes.
So Hana and Nina are dressed up all fancy-like, but Hana says that she doesn't like what she sees in the mirror. She claims that it just isn't her and that she misses that my computer just went bonkers, y'all.
It's okay.
And that she misses that there were like no mirrors around like in the convent. She's like, that's the one thing I miss about the convent is I couldn't
Oh.
see myself.
Yeah, that's a whole different world. Like, I mean, because, wow. That
Yeah,
is
I
like,
mean, if
I
you
didn't
don't
realize that.
if you don't feel like yourself and you never have to see yourself,
Then you can be yourself.
then yes, then a lot of times you can just
You feel
do
who you are.
right.
And
Yeah.
that's an amazing thing that, like, I guess I really didn't realize that was there because a mirror really, like, I mean, seeing yourself is that huge changing factor for people, especially like, I just think that's amazing that she put that in there. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
That's
It is
just,
an interesting thought.
just because it's a really small, like, little, like, thing, but, like, it actually is, like, it's huge to Hana
Mhm.
because Hana would be most comfortable where there are no mirrors, even if it's at the convent. Like,
Yeah.
go Lee. Sorry. Love you. So proud of Lee.
So Nina asks Hana if she wants to make her parents proud like all the other girls there. And she answers with, I want to throw you onto my horse and ride as fast and as far away from here as we can get, not side saddle. So we're getting spicy.
Yes.
That is quite a comment there.
I didn't expect that to come from her. I'm a little blushing.
So Nina couldn't really respond to that because Hana ran away, but she was thinking that riding into a new world with Hana was not a chance you just let slip by. So clearly they are both pining for each other.
Ugh.
I know.
It's happening.
I know. The relationship is happening.
Yes. Let's do this.
But now Hana has to get a proposal.
Yeah.
They're taken to the prince again, of course. The prince has been like slowly been healing because of Hana over the last few weeks. And the thought process is that if he feels well enough, he would stand up to Broom. You know,
so
if he's not so weak, then he'll actually have the guts to make his own decision.
I don't believe that. I call false. Like, I just don't believe he has enough. I think he's just saying that. I don't think.
No, he doesn't say it. That's their hope.
Oh, okay.
Because they've been friendly with him. They've been trying to plant these seeds in his head.
That ain't gonna happen.
So, but that's all they have at this point.
Yeah.
They have to have, because Nina's been working on the queen and Hana's been working on the prince. So they're hoping that the royal family can take over, so that because Broom has been calling all the shots and he shouldn't be. It should be the royal family.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, it's very clear that the prince is crushing all over Hana because he is saying some very brash things.
Oh.
We also learned that Demidov is there, but the apparat is not. He's been very secretive lately.
He's always secretive.
And Broom wants the prince to banish the apparat to wherever will take him.
Oh.
We also learned that the queen has told the prince that she doesn't want him to bomb any more civilians. So the queen is on their side. But the prince...
That's big.
Doesn't give any hints right now as to what he's thinking. He doesn't say what he thinks about that. But we know that his mom is talking to him about, hey, maybe we don't bomb people.
Right. And that's, so we've actually got, they're making some movement, progress.
Yes.
Which is amazing. And also very calculated and smart the way they're doing it. You know, I mean, it's sneaky.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know Jarl Broom is he just wants to run over the entire Grishaverse and I just imagine him in this huge, I was about to say semi-truck, which I know he's not in a semi-truck, but huge tank and just, I don't know. He kind of, I just don't like him. He's a bad man.
Yes.
I'm going to say that.
Yes,
he's a bad man.
The prince asks Hana to dance, and I have this quote because who doesn't enjoy the relationship stuff like we've just been talking about, Nina felt something in her heart twist. Oh, that's small of you, Zinnik. It's not as if you and Hana could have a future here. Hana could talk of riding off somewhere, but that was just nerve speaking. The prospect of facing down another party, another night of idle small talk. She wouldn't abandon Fjorda, and Nina wouldn't abandon Ravka. And when Nina's mission was complete, she certainly wasn't going to remain in this simpering disguise at the Fjordan court. End quote. So,
I keep on forgetting that Nina also doesn't look like herself, and how hard that would be. Talking about mirrors, like, I mean,
yes.
For her,
so she's not herself right now either.
Yeah, like her and Hana both like probably just they're just dodging mirrors like left and right.
So here comes the interesting part.
Ooh.
Joran and Nina start having a conversation about Grisha and saints, because remember they had that whole thing where she caught him praying to the saints.
Right.
But the conversation takes a little bit of a turn when he starts talking about killing one of his own in a foreign city.
Like his own, like,
Druskella.
Ooh, that's even more juicy.
Yes.
Oh.
So.
Wow. Druskella's gone wild.
Yes. So Joran says, he was my brother. He was a traitor. I shot him and left him to die in a foreign city. Nina starts catching on to what he's talking about, but he continues. He told me, he said there was so much in the world that I didn't have to be afraid of if I would only open my eyes, and I did, and I am afraid of everything. Nina comes back, and she's thinking the Druskella that had been in Ketterdam for the auction. They'd put a price on Matthias's head. Nina felt like she was falling. She was kneeling on the cobblestones, watching the light fade from Matthias's beautiful eyes. She was holding him, trying to keep him to her. He was dying in her arms. You should be afraid, Nina growled, shoving Joran into the shadows of the alcove, away from the eyes of the crowd. He was too startled to fight her, and in the next breath, she had the sharpened tip of a bone dart hovering above his jugular. You should tremble in your bed and weep like the base coward you are. You are the man who killed Matthias Helvar. Say it. His eyes were wide, confused. Who are you? Say it. I want your confession before I end your worthless life. End quote.
Oh my God. Like, I forgot that, like, completely. And that was a little boy that shot Matthias. So he's, oh my God.
So Joran is the murderer of Matthias Helvar.
Oh my goodness gracious. I am verklempt. I'm not even kidding, guys. Like, seriously, like, my memory sucks. So, like, I've read this once, but I completely forgot that. Wow.
That's a big one.
That is huge.
Big one.
Oh my God.
So right then they're stopped by Hana and the prince asking what's up, because there is clearly a scene going on. And Joran hides this and says that he made a pass at Mila and that she put him in his place. The prince clearly does not care. And Hana loses her calm with the prince. She loses her temper a little bit. But the prince seems to diffuse the situation, and things kind of calm back down, but he makes a comment about bending a broom to his will. Gross.
Ew.
That's just gross.
Yeah.
So Nina goes back to her room and is remembering Matthias.
Oh.
Hana comes in. Apparently the war is starting, so the ball ended early. She tells Hana that Joran had wronged her. She had threatened him, and she has to go somewhere else. She has to leave here. Hana comes out with this grandiose comment that I missed the first time around. She says that she knows Nina is upset because of Matthias, and that she knew Matthias as one of her father's soldiers, and that her father had cursed Nina's name as the Grisha whore who beguiled his favorite pupil.
Oh my.
So Hana knew the story of Matthias and Nina, and we're just now finding this out.
That's crazy.
Right?
What a connect. Like, oh my goodness.
So, so Nina tells Hana that Joran was the one that killed him, and now she has to kill Joran.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I mean, yeah, she has to.
Yeah.
And he's, oh my gosh.
But Hana obviously is like, no, you cannot do this. Don't do it. And the conversation kind of turns to the prince. They know at this point that he wants to marry Hana. They know that the prince has his eyes on Hana. So, I mean, it makes sense now. But Hana says it might actually be helpful to marry the prince so that she could guide him, but that she would not be happy with any man.
And see, I hate that.
I mean, but it's like,
I hate that Hana feels like.
Right, but
has
like
to
you
do
would
that.
do anything to save your country kind of thing.
Right. I know, like, that's a hard thing, though. Like,
Yes.
seriously, like, I mean, like, I don't think, I love where I live, but I mean, like, to be honest, like, I mean, this is your life you're talking about.
Right, but if they were like,
I guess if I thought about everybody else involved instead of just say, okay,
you can save your country
I could save the
if you
people I
marry
love.
the princess.
Okay, I can save all the people that I love and yes, there are people in there scattered that I don't like, but all the people
But
I do love.
Yes.
Yes, okay. That would be hard, but you could tough it out.
She says also at this point that she has wanted Nina ever since she saw her. That when she saw her that day
On that
a
horseback.
long time ago
Mhm.
on the horse, that Nina was like a girl that she dreamed into being.
Wow. Well,
And she's not even herself. So Nina says if Hana could love the prince, she will find a way to let her go. Hana says, never let me go. Nina responds, never, and they start making out. The end.
your chapter is so full of tea.
It was so full of piping hot tea.
I loved all of it.
Yes.
And what I love best is that I literally don't remember a lot of that. So it was
you got
like,
to relive it.
I did, like, on the show. Like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe, like, Matthias Helvar, like, I mean, his killer, like, and that was a little boy.
Well, and they said in the book that his punishment for killing Matthias was being the prince's guard.
Wow.
Remember they said, what have you done to get this position? It was killing one of his own.
Oh,
yeah.
That's what it was.
All
wow.
right. Well, that was mine.
Okay. So
it was a good one.
That really was. And, that's just where we are with this book.
Yes.
We're kind of like...
We're getting to the apex here.
And to be honest, like, I think there's going to be a lot of moments like that for me because we read this... I feel like I read this book so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
The first time, I don't think I caught everything. So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
Anyways, chapter 31 is Nikolai. And if we just remember where we left off with there, we left off with them trying to steal titanium and replacing it with aluminum or something.
Yes.
Yeah, some other metal. And this chapter could go on for hours describing this heist, but I will real quickly tell you, they begin the heist and to getting the titanium. Everything goes smoothly until they realize that the guards are coming back early, cutting their time a little short. And once they try to leave with what they have, which, by the way, is less than what they were expecting, an anchor line gets caught. So they got the flying thing, the flying helicopter thing.
The flying thing.
Yep. So that's over the building that's got the, like, doohickey doom. And that dome, yeah, that thing opens up. And, like, so they've got the flying thing, let down the anchors. It's like catching a fish. That's how I imagine it, I guess. So they've got these anchors, and they are somehow pulling it up. But the problem is, when they're trying to take up just half of what they got...
With the doohickey.
With the doohickeys, yeah. One of the anchors gets stuck. So
the nerve.
I know. Yes, I know. The nerve of that anchor. So Kaz is like, well, what are we gonna do? Like, I mean, we're just gonna have to leave. And Nikolai's like, no, we can't just leave. I don't want them to know it's Ravka. So Nikolai has this wonderful idea that he will expose, he's just gonna come out as his shadow monster. And that's what he
Mm.
does. Except he doesn't turn into his shadow monster this time. He is actually separate from his shadow monster. So he's up in his helicopter with Kaz. His shadow monster flies down, swoops down, fixes the anchor, and then they're like, "Oh, great, we got the titanium. That's fabulous." So they start flying away, and right as the dome shuts, what happens? Ugh, our shadow monster gets stuck in there, just in case there wasn't
Aw.
any drama. I know. So Nikolai can't leave a second half. So he's trying to control him, I guess, through like telepathy or something somehow in there. And he's like trying to like calm him down, like trying to soothe him, like, relax, you don't need to, like, we'll get you out of there, whatever. And then boom, the shadow monster just decides he just flies out there. He's a huge monster. So he just makes a huge hole in the top of that dome. And so, just to let you know, how to get so like a big hole on top of the dome is definitely going to give it away. So, I think this is very quick thinking on my girl, by the way. Zoya then is like, that's okay. She shoots it, zaps it with lightning, and it gets those little scars and burns, and it just looks like lightning hit, and rain rushes in, and day is new. Just like nothing happened. Isn't that amazing?
It was Mother Nature.
Yes, so that's my version of the heist. Just to let you know, just because that went on for a very long time.
Great.
I know, so I just kind of went us through there. Okay, so I can skip through a lot of those notes. Anyways, so it went as well as possible, I guess. Considering they did get some of the metal they needed, they only did get half of it, but they got some. Before Kaz leaves, he tells them that he has heard a certain monarch and his wife are no longer in exile. And this is by order of the Fjordan government and Jarl Broom. Remember that bad man.
Bad man.
So Kaz says this is a problem. This is the problem with letting your enemies live. And I love this. Before he departs, he says this quote to Nikolai. A word of advice from one bastard to another. Sometimes it's best to let the demon have its day. End
Oh.
quote. Love it.
Yeah.
And then Kaz just kind of like slides down and is gone. Bye, Kaz. Yeah. Which was great. Which was such a surprise to see him in this novel. So I love that.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
Such a great surprise.
I honestly did not see them coming into this at all. And I got so excited. So, yep. And of course, he goes out with the best fashion with like a great quote and slides down a rope or whatever. He's gone. So,
Bye-bye.
yes, bye-bye. So now we
Thanks for
have
coming.
Zoya, and she joins Nikolai. And they're on their little flying, and they're just talking. She informs him that they have some intelligence that Fjorda is mobilizing again, but she isn't exactly sure of where these locations are yet. But she knows something's going down. They discuss whether Nikolai's mother would help Nikolai keep him on the throne or not. And it's a discussion. It's not really like we know or not. Goes back and forth. And then Zoya also tells Nikolai that his shadow monster scared a lot of her Grisha. Just to let him know. Because, it's very important during that titanium heist. And what are you going to do? So, and actually, so that is leading us to our scene, which I'm very excited about because it actually is going to lead us to the end of this chapter, but it's so good. It's, Terry's going to play Nikolai, and I'm going to play Zoya, and it is just full of so much juice I've been waiting for, so you just get ready. I'm going to act the hell out of this scene. Yes, we are.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we've done a lot of practicing by reading it once. But, anyways, it's going to be great. So, anyways, are you ready, girl?
I'm ready.
Okay. Ready's where we're gonna be. Okay. Curtain up. So good to hear him again.
Thanks, dude. Why didn't you tell me you were Suli?
I think you know, Nikolai.
You really believe it would have changed the way I see you?
No, not you. But ask yourself, would your first army generals treat me so respectfully if they knew I was Suli?
If they didn't, they would stop being my generals.
Do you really think it's as simple as that? That they would make it that easy? She shook her head. They never come at you with hatred. They come at you with pity. Did you learn to read in the Suli caravans? Was it hard growing up in such squalor? They giggled about the dark hair on your arms or say that you look Ravkan like it's some kind of compliment. They don't make it easy to fight them. Zoya closed her eyes. I passed because it was safer to be Zoya Nazielensky than Zoya Nabri. I guess I thought it would keep me safe. Now I'm not so sure. The woman on the cliffs called me daughter. That word. I didn't know I needed that word. I don't regret turning my back on my parents, but it's hard not to wonder what might have happened if my father had stood up for me. If we'd gone to live with his people. If I'd had some place other than the little palace to run to. Someone other than the Darkling to make me feel capable and strong.
It isn't too late, Zoya. They chose to help you on the cliffs. Not me, not Kaz Brecker.
Now Zoya's laugh was harsh. But they don't really know me, do they?
I would choose you. The words were out before he thought better of them, and then there was no way to pull them back. Silence stretched between them. Perhaps the floor will open and I'll plummet to my death, he thought hopefully.
As your general? Her voice careful. She was offering him a chance to right the ship, to take them back to familiar waters. And a fine general you are. There could be no better leader. You may be prickly, but that's what Ravka needs. So many easy replies.
Instead, he said, as my queen. He couldn't read her expression. Was she pleased, embarrassed, angry? Every cell in his body screamed for him to crack a joke, to free both of them from the peril of this moment. But he wouldn't. He was still a privateer, and he'd come too far.
Because I'm a dependable soldier, she said, but she didn't sound sure. It was that same cautious, tentative voice, the voice of someone waiting for a punchline, or maybe a blow, because I know all your secrets.
I do trust you more than myself sometimes, and I think very highly of myself. But that isn't the whole truth, is it? You get cowardly lump. To the hell with it. They might all die soon. They were safe here in the dark, surrounded by the hum of the engines. I would make you my queen because I want you. I want you all the time.
As your general, I should tell you that would be a terrible decision.
He turned onto his side. They were facing each other now. As your king, I should tell you that no one could dissuade me. No prince and no power could make me stop wanting you. Nikolai felt drunk. Maybe unleashing the demon had loosed something in his brain. I would give you a crown if I could, he said. I would show you the world from the prow of the ship. I would choose you, Zoya, as my general, as my friend, as my bride. I would give you a sapphire the size of an acorn. He reached into his pocket. And all I would ask in return is that you wear this damnable ribbon in your hair on our wedding day.
She reached out, her fingers hovering over the coil of blue velvet ribbon resting in his palm. Then she pulled back her hand, cradling her fingers as if they'd been singing. You will wed a Taban sister who craves a crown, she said, or a wealthy Kirch girl, or maybe a Fjordan royal. You will have heirs and a future. I'm not the queen Ravka needs.
And if you're the queen I want?
She shut her eyes. There's a story my aunt told me a very long time ago. I can't remember all of it, but I remember the way she described the hero. He had a golden spirit. I loved those words. I made her read them again and again. When I was a little girl, I thought I was a golden spirit too, that it would light everything it touched, that it would make me beloved like a hero in a story. She sat up, drew her knees in, wrapped her arms around them as if she could make a shelter of her own body. He wanted to pull her back down beside him and press his mouth to hers. He wanted her to look at him again with possibility in her eyes. But that's not who I am. Whatever is inside me is sharp and gray as the thornwood. She rose and dusted off her kefta. I wasn't born to be a bride. I was made to be a weapon.
Nikolai forced himself to smile. It wasn't as if he'd offered her a real proposal. They both knew that such a thing was impossible. And yet, her refusal smarted just as badly as if he'd gotten on his knee and offered her his hand like some kind of besotted fool. It stung. All saints, it stung. Well, he said cheerfully, pushing up onto his elbows and looking at her with all the wry humor he could muster. Weapons are good to have around too. Far more useful than brides and less likely to mope about the palace. But if you won't rule Ravka by my side, what does the future hold, General?
Zoya opened the door to the cargo hold. Light flooded in, gilding her features when she looked back at him. I'll fight on beside you, as your general, as your friend, because whatever my failings, I know this. You are the king Ravka needs. Oh.
We've got all kinds of relationships going on.
Oh my gosh. And Fiend, thank you so much to Kendra Dantes and Year 26 for that fabulous background music. But yes, it was so good, wasn't it?
It was.
I even I had to take some of the stuff out so we could put it all in there. Otherwise, that would have been 15 pages.
Right, yeah.
But you know me, I've been waiting for that. Oh my gosh. So I was, I love it. Love it. So, so that's the end of that scene. That's the end of the chapter. And I'm just gonna say, I'm proud of myself. That was a good summary. I didn't have to go through every single word. I summarized that heist in probably the gayest summarization of a heist ever, but it was fabulous, wasn't it?
It was.
Doohickeys and things like that. I don't know what else. Yeah. What's gonna be funny is when I listen back to it.
Well, you did great.
Well, good. I think I'm glad we're back and doing back into the story, and I'm excited because I truthfully can't remember a lot. So, anyways, it's that special time for GrishaCast news. And anyways, our Grisha in the field has no news.
Nope, there is no news.
But we have to do that every single time
Of
because
course.
that's it's part of the show.
Yes.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a fan that said they really did it when I think there was a moment where I asked maybe I should take that out. And a fan was like, I really enjoy hearing Eric get excited.
Yeah.
So whoever you are out there, thank you, because that is why I still do that. Love you. So anyways, thank you. Shout out real quickly to our Fable Book Club.
Yes.
We're in Siege and Storm. And thank you to all our listeners. And just to let you guys know, we've got some really cool stuff coming ahead. We're not going to tell you, but we have some really cool things that are coming your way. And we are very excited to present them to you. And that's what we're here for. We're GrishaCast. So I'm allowed to say that, So anyway, stay tuned. Next week, we will be covering chapters 32 and 33. Okay, so y'all have a wonderful time and long live the Grishaverse.
We're at the end of the hour, so my voice is a little husky. A plus.
No mourners.
No funerals.
This has been GrishaCast. Connect with us on the web at GrishaCast.com. send an email to info@GrishaCast.com.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and kinda TikTok at GrishaCast.
Thank you to Kendra Dantes in Year 26 for the amazing background music, and of course our staff, Chris, Alex, Sid, Michelle, and Amber.